Welcome back to Sunrise. I've been looking forward to this all morning. How are you, Julia?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm with Julia from Bun in the Oven, and we're about to cook some plain old chocolate chip cookies.
That's right.
But I don't think they're very plain. They're pretty fantastic.
Well, and they have a little twist to them. You can make them with coconut oil. They're grain-free, dairy-free, paleo, gluten-free. But I like to use olive oils from Olive Fusion in them.
And we were just talking about that because not only is it giving it kind of a different flavor, but there's a lot of choices there too.
Right, so I am gonna today make them with the mandarin olive oil, and then I have these ones here which are actually made with the Baclaudy green chili olive oil.
Awesome.
So they're a little spicy with the chocolate and the sweet.
And that is made with the Olive Fusion, and it's green chili? Or
it's made with Baclaudy green chilies, and it's the olive oil is infused with the chili flavor.
That olive oil is fantastic,
Yeah.
and that's a great way. And so you carry your products at other places like Olive Fusion, right?
Yes, so I'm at 3 places in Breckenridge right now. I'm at the newly renovated Crown, which just opened around Christmas. It's beautiful in there. I'm also at Yellow Arrow Coffee under the coffee shop, and everything you see here baked today will be there later today to taste.
Awesome.
And then I'm also at Olive Fusion, of course, and they have a tea room that they're working on where they'll host tea parties and bachelorette parties for, you know, parties for kids, whatever you want, and I will do the baked goods for them. So everything will be gluten-free, paleo, and baked with their olive oils.
Awesome. So let's get started.
Let's get started.
But if you haven't been to any of those places, definitely try and go and stop in Olive Fusion and have a cup of tea, and now you can have a baked good with it as well, which is fantastic. And we're going to be using a little bit of olive oil today as well, right?
Yes, so I'm using the mandarin infused olive oil today in these cookies, but like I said, you could use just a regular coconut oil. You could even use melted butter if you don't need dairy-free. It's a really flexible recipe. So in here I have all the dry ingredients.
The dry ingredients even smell fantastic.
So there's almond flour, coconut sugar, baking soda, and salt in here right now. And I will post the full recipe on my blog later today so that everybody can have access to this. So you can check that out. Yeah, and on a powder day like today, you just want to get home and have something tasty in the oven. So.
Absolutely. I love that you're willing to share too, because it's like, sometimes you find something like this that tastes so good and it is good for you. There's really solid ingredients that are wholesome for you, and no one ever teaches me how to recreate such things.
Yeah, and so these are actually low glycemic except for the chocolate chips. So if you had a different add-in, you know, you wanted to put in nuts or something instead, they would absolutely be low glycemic because the coconut sugar is what sweetens them. Yeah. Awesome.
And so that's kind of your whole, tell us a little bit about Bun in the Oven and the concept in general there.
Yeah. So I started Bun in the Oven because I wanted to have a bakery that made food that I wanted to eat.
Absolutely.
So that everything is what I call high nutrient, and every ingredient is chosen and prepared to deliver the most nutrients to your body. So, you know, from the way that I choose the almond flour, it's blanched, so the skins are removed, so it doesn't have the enzyme inhibitors that are often found in nuts. Let me throw the olive oil in here now. You want to smell it? It's delicious.
Ooh, I love that mandarin. So it's mandarin chocolate chip cookies.
So it's mandarin chocolate chip cookies.
They're definitely not plain old chocolate. I think you need to change the name.
Well, I do make them plain with the coconut oil, and that's the standard cookie. And it's, you know, obviously my most popular cookie.
Well, you can't go wrong with chocolate chip cookies. You just can't. There's no going wrong. But with you, everything is so thought out. Every ingredient really has a purpose and serves a purpose for you too, not just the recipe, and I love that.
So these little chocolate chunks that I'm using here are actually soy-free chocolate chunks. It's a brand called Enjoy Life. And they do a chocolate chunk, which I love, and then a mini chocolate chip that I use in the muffins. And they're all soy-free. They're made with just unsweetened chocolate and cane sugar. That's the only ingredients.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're really high-quality chocolate chips.
I love that mandarin smell.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, so now I'm just going to scoop them onto my little tray. And that's it. I mean, it's really just dump it all in and mix it together. And I kind of
Simple
dumped
as
it in a few different batches, but you could really just throw it all in. So it's a great recipe to make with kids.
Great.
Pardon my fingers here.
No, for it. I love how the
They will be
ingredients
baked.
kind
Thank
of
you very much,
do
food
the work
department.
for themselves. That's
Yes.
what the ingredients do, what they need to. They serve
Yes.
a purpose.
So, it's the perfect recipe to make with kids because they love it. It doesn't have anything in it that is going to offend anybody. And they're grain-free, dairy-free. So if you have any allergies that you're dealing with, you don't have to really worry about it. Obviously, they do have nuts. And I do have some nut-free recipes because, there's tons of people out there.
You definitely do a great job at providing lots of options for everyone with no matter what the kind of allergy is or if someone has a dietary restriction. You are great, and you're really knowledgeable on how to make that work and still taste good, which I love because you don't have to be, it doesn't have to taste terrible. It can be, there's some really amazing ingredients out there.
And I've gotten to the point where I actually prefer the way that this stuff tastes to other, traditional baked goods. The flavors are richer and they have more depth because the ingredients are better.
Absolutely.
So.
These look awesome too. They already look like so thick. They look like ice cream scoops kind of. I love that they're not like
ice
flat.
cream scooper to actually scoop the cookies out because with the coconut flour, they'll hold their shape.
Okay.
So first of all, I want to have consistency in the size because I am actually a bakery. And then the trick here, and the last tip, is to push down into the center of the cookie a little bit so that it spreads out better.
Definitely.
And that's just specific to these ingredients, that when you get the coconut flour in there, it's just a really thick thickener flour.
I love how they smell.
So, and then, you
these.
throw them in the oven for 10 minutes, maybe 8 minutes, depending on your oven. I use 325. And, they come out and they look like that, except they'll have the nugget
delicious.
chips.
Yeah.
And they're delicious.
And so this is the finished. Yes. This is the finished batch, and this is a little bit of the green chili.
Yeah, so these are the green
Can I
chili.
try?
Yes, you may, absolutely.
Oh man.
And those are actually fresh from the
oven.
oven.
These are still warm. They're still warm.
And then of course I did the mandarin with these ones.
Oh my
So.
goodness. No, I'm making a mess. Yum. Like chocolate chip cookies at 9 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning.
That's how it should be.
That's how you start your day.
Yes.
Oh, I love the chili.
Thank you. Yeah. So the great thing about these cookies is that you could legitimately eat them for breakfast.
Absolutely.
They are that healthy that you can feel good about starting
They
your
have
day.
the good ingredients. And so tell us where you're located and maybe a website as well.
Yeah, so I work out of a commercial kitchen in Silverthorne. It's actually right across the street. It's 252 Warren Avenue in Silverthorne. You can pick up there or at, of course, the locations in Breckenridge, the Crown, Yellow Arrow Coffee, and Olive Fusion. And then I do sell at Abby's Coffee Shop in Frisco as well.
Great.
And my website is bunintheovenfrisco.com. And I also tweet and Facebook and all that, and it's hashtag FindBITO is what you would follow if you want to see what I'm delivering where and when throughout the county.
And so where do people need to go today to find this batch that we prepare?
They need to go to Yellow Arrow Coffee.
Awesome. And that's in the
buy
new
them.
community center, right?
It is.
So if you haven't been in there, definitely go check that out and go into Yellow Arrow and just support Julia and Bun in the Oven. She makes something fantastic and you have to try them. I wish you could smell what I smell and taste what I smell, but you can visiting at any of the local places that we mentioned, or again, just she's our neighbor, so over down here in Silverthorne as well. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
it's
you for
always
having
fun.
me.
I feel like it's a science project every time. I learn something new. I'm a terrible baker, so it's really fun to learn from you every time you come in here. We're gonna take another quick break. I'm gonna enjoy one of these cookies, and we'll see you back here in just a minute on Summit Sunrise.